Sheldon, Season 7, Final Season, Full Summary Season Overview. Season 7 picks up where Season 6 ended, putting the finishing touches on Sheldon's childhood. There's a strong interplay between family drama and academic and social maturity, and a strong focus on family relationships before the emotional outburst of his father's death. Episode details and key events. 1. Sheldon and Germany. Sheldon is selected to participate in a science program in Germany, a huge step in his career. Despite his enthusiasm for science, he begins to feel nervous about being away from his family and moving to a completely new environment. He begins to realize that intelligence isn't enough to cope socially or emotionally. 2. The relationship between Sheldon and Mary, mother. Mary feels both proud and scared at the same time about Sheldon's travel. An internal conflict arises within her, between supporting her son and her desire to protect him from the world. Their dialogue sometimes becomes tense, especially when she feels Sheldon is starting to become emotionally detached from her. 3. George Sr. and his character development. George proves in the early episodes that he is a true supporter of Sheldon, despite their differences. His relationship with Mary gradually improves after a period of disagreements, and he begins planning for a more stable future for the family. But the tragic surprise comes with his sudden death from a heart attack, an event previously known from the Big Bang Theory. 4. George Sr.'s death. One of the most powerful moments of the series. Each family member handles the shock differently. Mary is deeply saddened but tries to keep the family together. George feels guilty and begins to take on more responsibilities. Missy becomes more rebellious and outspoken, especially regarding her father's absence. Sheldon tries to deal with the situation rationally and logically, but internally collapses. 5. Sheldon begins to realize the severity of the loss. Although he doesn't display his grief in a conventional way, his behavior reflects turbulent feelings. He begins writing notes about death, family, and passing in his personal notebook. He is torn between his desire for scientific independence and his need for emotional belonging. Season and series finale. The finale begins with Sheldon preparing to travel to Germany, amidst a somber atmosphere at home after the loss of his father. Poignant moments from previous seasons are flashbacks to highlight how Sheldon has grown and how the family has changed. Sheldon bids his mother farewell with tears in her eyes, telling her that he'll miss home, even if he won't admit it. The final scene is a poignant internal monologue, in which he says, "Greater than, I thought becoming a scientist would be the hardest part. But leaving home, that was the real challenge." The series ends with a symbolic scene, Sheldon walking through the Houston airport, dragging his suitcase, alone, emerging from childhood. The overall message of this season, Season 7, wasn't just a farewell to young Sheldon. It was a true transition from the isolated world of childhood to a more complex and painful reality. It demonstrates how genius isn't always a shield, and that the greatest equation is the equation of life.